It's finally here! Toronto's hotly anticipated food hall, the Wellington Market, has opened at the Well. And today, we visit as many vendors as we could to find out whether or not this food hall is worth the hype. But first, let's talk about the Well. It's this massive multi-purpose development where you can eat, live, play, shop, and work. Located at Front and Spadina, the Well is already home to some noteworthy vendors like Prince Street Pizza, DeMello's, and Lulu Bar. And in the next year, it's going to be home to a handful of other well-established restaurants. The Wellington Market is supposed to be different. The massive food hall is located on the bottom floor of the Well. There's space for over 50 vendors, with the claim that no two vendors are exactly the same. It's liquor licensed, with a bar, the Pier Bar, situated in the center of the main dining area. It's also extremely dog-friendly, which is great for people who own pets like us. There are arcade games, flower shops, and these punny Instagram signs pretty much everywhere you look. There's also this amazing market store, Little Harvest. This is such a great little market for residents and visitors alike. I mean, the diversity of grocery items is awesome, especially considering that it's kind of in a limited space, but they also have really interesting and unique products that are harder to find in the area. This kind of place is exactly what the Well needed, so I'm really happy that it's here. All in all, this is a really exciting spot. It's so lively, and a quick look at all the vendors lets us know that the quality of the food is likely going to be great. Rosie's Burgers, La Cubana, Sweetie Pie, Blue Claw Lobster Shack, Big Fat Cookies, Lyon are just some of the legitimately acclaimed or popular names in Toronto's dining scene found here at the Wellington Market. We're going to try all these places, and a few others that are either brand new or brand new to Toronto. At the end of the day, we'll give you our fully honest thoughts, what works, what doesn't, and what to expect when you visit the Wellington Market. Let's get started. Let's start with the new contender, Japadog. New to Toronto, but not new on the other side of the country. Japadog is iconic street food in Vancouver. They serve authentic and original style Japanese hot dogs. Think toppings like Kewpie mayo, bonito flakes, seaweed or sesame flakes. Those are just a few. The menu can get pretty wild. They have some great sides and lemonades as well. We were recommended to get the Wagyu Terra Mayo hot dog, both by the staff and someone in line. Topped off with Wagyu beef, seaweed, teriyaki sauce, Japanese mayo, and fried onions. This was an interesting one. Look, we just had a hot dog topped off with poutine, which honestly felt like the closest thing to a culinary sin than anything we've had before. I'll be really honest with you, this hot dog was a bit of a mixed bag. The meat was actually really flavorful, and the onions provided comfortable respite to an otherwise saucy and seaweedy meal, but for this price, this messy combo makes it hard to eliminate the memory that a Costco hot dog exists. I can say for a fact that I'll be back to try another menu item. Japadog is too big of a deal to not give them another shot, but it likely won't be a hot dog at this price point. La Cubana is a vibrant Cuban restaurant, well, two restaurants actually, both in Roncesvalles and Ossington. They serve a variety of Cuban dishes, and they're mostly known for their short rib or Cubano sandwich. Today we went with the classic Cubano. Super popular in Cuba, Florida, and with fans of the Jon Favreau movie, Chef. It's bread, mustard, Swiss cheese, pork and ham, and pickles. This meal has a current residency under the definition of the word food porn, and has for quite a few years now. La Cubano's Cubano, say that 5 times Camp Caribou, is a treat. Its fragrance is immediate out of the foil, the cheese pulls effortlessly, and the bread is soft, toasted, and buttery. First bite, you can tell that this is a quality meal. With salted and spiced pork, it does great work to eliminate the memory of the Cubano we had recently from the Queen's Cross Food Hall. This was a pretty good sandwich. Blue Claw Lobster Shack is no slouch when it comes to the food scene, especially on social media. When they opened their original location last year, they ran a promotion with social media influencers to provide them with plenty of free lobster rolls. The menu almost feels like it's been designed to appeal exclusively to Instagrammers. A heavy dollop of lobster on a nicely toasted bread. This looks pretty good. But is it worth the price? Blue Claw Lobster Shack's East Coast Lobster Roll is now our 4th lobster roll in the last year, which I know sounds pretty weird when you say it out loud. And recently, we just had the lobster roll from Buster Sea Cove over at the St. Lawrence Market. So when we opened the box the lobster roll came in, it's easy to see why it felt like we had received a sample and less so an actual meal. To be fair, it's a nicely chilled lobster, and it did look pretty, but it just wasn't enough food, and especially not for that price. I fully expect the main meal to be more satisfying than the Cavendish or Cavendish-esque fries that accompany that main meal. I can't say it did today. But look, I'll be honest too. Most reviewers and influencers have said the Halifax burger is the way to go here. Apparently it's much better value and has better flavor, so you may want to consider ordering that instead. Nord Lyon is a big deal. This French bakery's outpost on Queen Street West is legendary. They have delightful breads, pastries, croissants, and other treats available all the time. And they're especially famous for this incredible brunch buffet they have on the weekends. Their location at the Well won't have those same weekend menus, but it still packs a punch. With a window filled with some phenomenal looking pastries including macaroons, we knew, like the handful of others that were crowding the front of this location, we too wanted what they had. We ordered 2 items from Nord Lyon. One was a caramel tart with some apple inside of it, and a variety of different nuts on top. I mean, this caught my attention from a mile away. It looked incredible. The flavor was extremely rich, very specific, but boy, it was great. The second thing that we ordered was one of their New York croissants. A chocolate New York croissant, actually. And yeah, this was amazing. It had those itty bitty little chocolate bowls on top. Inside was filled with a rich chocolate cream. This was delicious. From the 2 pastries we got from Nord Lyon, it's clear that the tastes and prices of their menu are more rich than pedestrian. This isn't a place we'll be visiting often, but when we will, it'll definitely be for special occasions. Rosie's Burger isn't just another smash burger joint. I mean, it's a simple burger place, as in it doesn't have a crowded menu. They have a few burgers, a few chicken items, crinkle-cut fries and a poutine, cookies and milkshakes, and an extremely popular banana pudding. Dad's banana pudding, actually. For our visit, we stuck with the classic Rosie burger. Lettuce, pickles, onions, 2 patties, American cheese, and a generous amount of Rosie sauce. To me, it tastes like special sauce mixed with some barbecue or paprika. Either way, it was incredible. The burger itself does all the talking here. It may not have been the item we were most excited to try because there's a lot to try here, but spoiler alert, this was the best thing we had in this food hall. And while I can't go on a limb and say it's the best burger in Toronto, sure, let's say it. Who cares? For this video, this is the best burger in Toronto. Dad's banana pudding was also amazing. This was one of the best banana puddings we've had. I know it's a recent trend in the city right now. I know it's kind of everyone's selling it. This is one of the best ones you can get. We loved it. It was delicious. Rosie's is the ultimate argument against fast food burgers. It's a high quality meal with a slightly higher than average price, but the best smash patties in Toronto are all around the same price. And as far as this food hall is concerned, this is better value than some of the other items we tried. Highly recommended. You can't go wrong with Rosie's Burgers. In the far back of the main dining hall is Island's Caribbean Cookshop. They're sandwiched in between La Cubana and Gus Tacos, which is an extremely popular and famous taco place that we're going to have to show the next time we make a video in the Wellington Market. The menu here is a full one. You've got your staples, jerk chicken, oxtail, curry, ackee and saltfish, and some rotis. You might also consider just getting a beef patty and cocoa bread. In my humble opinion, this is the perfect mid-afternoon meal. But what if you added the words supreme to that dish? What does that look like? A delicious Jamaican patty served on freshly baked cocoa bread and dressed with spicy jerk mayo, crisp romaine lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a signature coleslaw. This wasn't just one of the more flavorful items we had, but it was bang for your buck, an absolute steal, especially compared to everything else we purchased in this food hall. It almost makes you pause and ask, are we doing food all wrong? Am I overcomplicating this whole thing? Is this all I really need? Something tells me that I'll be back for this exact dish. Well done, Islands Caribbean Cookshop. Tucked all the way in the back of the food hole is Sweetie Pie. Now, Sweetie Pie is no stranger to the city of Toronto. They have multiple locations. And in addition to their sweet and savory pies, they have tarts, pastries, Kawartha's ice cream, and other delicious treats. We stuck with a treat we've actually had before, the maple bourbon butter tart. It was fantastic. It's runny just the way that Darcy's mom and grandma made them. Perfect in every sense of the word. We also went to Big Fat Cookies, which we've had before at Square One in Mississauga. Oh, and the day before we filmed this. They served us a freshly warmed chocolate chip cookie, and it was a delight. There's one thing you should know about them. Their selection of cookies rotates throughout the day. So we saw a few cookie croissants on the counter when we initially started filming, and we've had one of them, and they're amazing. So just consider that if you're in the food market and you're hanging out and you didn't see a cookie you like, it might come up later on in that day. And finally, we visited the Samosarie. Now, the Samosarie has another location up at the Danforth, and who doesn't love a good samosa? We were told, by the way, that they do deliveries 3 times a day from their Danforth location to this location, which is great. And they have a wide selection. They're beautifully colored samosas. We tried the jerk chicken and the butter chicken. Our recommendation would be to get a bag of the frozen samosas to take home with you and heat them up at home. They're so pretty and fun to look at. I would buy a bag of these and take them to a party if I could. Definitely worth checking out, and they're really affordable. Some of the most affordable things we tried at the market. Okay, let's quickly recap. My top 3 places that I tried today were Rosie's Burgers, the Rosie Burger specifically, the Patty Supreme from Islands Caribbean Cookshop, and the Chocolate New York Croissant from Nord Lyon. My honorable mentions are going to include Big Fat Cookie, and actually I'm going to refer to a couple things that we've tried that you haven't seen here. Bagels on Fire has some fantastic bagels, highly recommended. And if you're looking for a really good Chinese dish, you might want to check out Szechuan. On the other side, we've got Darcy's favorites. She really enjoyed Dad's Banana Pudding from Rosie's Burger, the Rosie Burger as well from Rosie's Burger, and then her third favorite thing was the Maple Bourbon Tart from Sweetie Pie. It is great. It is delicious. So here are my ultimate thoughts. This is a great food hall in an electric space to hang out, get a good meal, maybe get a drink, play some arcade games, and bring your dogs. Sure, there's some things that you might want to avoid, but there are so many great options, and I can't recommend this place enough. This is a great place to have in the city. There's another issue though, and I think it's the elephant in the room, and isn't this a little too expensive? To a lot of people, probably not. This is a nuanced conversation and I'm not sure can be easily had on a vlog where we talk about food halls in Toronto, but it begs the question, why aren't there a few other cheap options in this food hall? And I'm not sure there's an answer to this question that isn't somewhat loaded, but it is food for thought. That's it for today. We'll be back to the Wellington Market to try some of these other great places, including Hookie's Fish and Chips, Gus Tacos, Szechuan House, Daraji, and Pokeworks. We also know there's a ton of new vendors that are going to be opening up as well too. There's also Isabella's Mochi Donuts, which we've had in a separate video that you can see. Lots of great food options here. We'll definitely show you guys more. Thanks for watching so much. Remember to click like if you liked and enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more great stuff from our city, Toronto. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.